Ah, some snails have escaped from a care of magical creatures class. Careful, they're dreadfully poisonous. Press the cross button to cast the Flipendo knockback jinx from your wand. That should stop the wretched things. And watch out for those poisonous snail trails.
Hello, guys. How are you today? Welcome to this live stream. Welcome to my channel, Alex's Adventures in English. And yes, in this channel, not this channel, but in this live stream, I'm going to be playing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone to teach you English, British English, pronunciation and vocabulary. Okay, this is part 4, but it's going to be a bit special because we're going to start from the very beginning of the game because, yeah, something happened and we've got to start again. So anyway, let's keep playing the game, and if this is the first time you come across my channel, well, enjoy the ride. Okay, yeah, so this is, based on the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, right? J.K. Rowling's book.
There was nothing about the starry sky that night.
Yeah, so there was nothing about the starry sky that night. Yeah, so there was nothing about the starry sky that night. Starry with that long R sound. You'll hear in words like car, for example.
To suggest that strange and mysterious things would soon be happening.
Would suggest that strange and mysterious things would soon be happening. So there was nothing suggesting that something strange was going to happen in the story. Strange and mysterious things would soon be happening.
As unsuspecting muggles slept.
As unsuspecting muggles slept. That's interesting because the narrator connects the first 2 words. He says, as unsuspecting, right? As unsuspecting muggles slept, right? That one long s sound in between muggles and slept. Muggle slept. Muggle slept.
A huge motorbike with a giant astride it.
A huge motorbike with a giant astride it. So a huge motorbike that, you know, basically it's like two nouns together, right? Motor and bike. So we stress the accent falls on the stressed syllable of the first item, motor, motorbike, with a giant astride it. Giant astride it. You connect the two, right? Giant astride it.
Down from the darkness.
Tumble down from the darkness. Tumble down from the darkness. Darkness. That long R sound we heard in the word starry, right? And in other words, like car, right? Or star, or cast, or even charm, or enchanted.
The giant named Hagrid left.
The giant named Hagrid, whose name was Hagrid, right? Whose name was Hagrid. So, in other words, this is like an elliptical relative clause, right? Because we've got whose named was, yes, whose name was, no, actually, the giant who was named Hagrid, right? Who was named Hagrid, who was, is omitted here. So this is an elliptical relative clause. The giant who was named Hagrid left. Let's continue.
A blanket wrap bundle on the doorstep of number 4, Privet Drive.
Left a blanket wrap bundle. Left a blanket wrap bundle. This is interesting because he does connect the first two words. Left a blanket wrap bundle. In isolation, you will say blanket wrapped, because that word comes from the last word. Wrapped comes from wrap, right? In the simple past, or when it functions as a past participle, wrapped is pronounced with a t at the end. Wrapped. You'll say wrapped. Wrapped. But in this case, you've got three consonants together. That's a consonant cluster. Wrapped and b. Right next. Right next to it. So three consonants, p, t, and b. When this happens, the consonant in the middle gets dropped, right? So this is ellipsis. And that's why the narrator says a blanket wrap bundle. Blanket wrap bundle.
Nestled in the bundle was a baby.
Nestled in the bundle was a baby. Nestled. Yeah, that word. In that word, you don't pronounce the t. You don't say nestled, but nestled. This is just like castle. You know, you don't pronounce the t. In, you know, in these words, you don't say nestled. You don't say castle, but castle and nestled in the bundle was a baby. Was a baby. Connecting was a baby. Okay?
Harry Potter, the boy who lived.
Yeah, so Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Okay, so Harry Potter, the boy who lived. So we're going to do this, guys. Okay. Yes. Sorry, I need to do something. Okay. There we go. Let's continue. I think that's it. I was just saving a state, you know, so that I can go back to this point later on.
For the next 11 years, Harry
For the next 11 years,
lived with his dreadful step-parents, the Dursleys.
Harry lived with his dreadful step-parents, the Dursleys. So, dreadful step-parents. Step-parents. Yep. Step-parents. The Dursleys. That's with this sound. You'll hear in words like church or even fur, right? So, Dursleys. The Dursleys.
Until that fateful day, when he received the letter inviting him to attend Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
So, until that fateful day, when he received the letter inviting him to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So, inviting him, right? So there's emphasis on the word him there, because it was like, you know, of all the children in the world, in Britain, you know, him, I mean, the most unlucky boy on, you know, on earth, because, you know, he had to live with his dreadful step-parents.
Hagrid took Harry to Diagon Alley.
Hagrid to Harry. Yeah, don't get confused here. It's Hagrid and Harry. In both words, you've got the same A sound at the beginning, if you noticed. Hagrid, Harry. Okay? Hagrid with a long E at the end. Hagrid, but with an A sound at the beginning. The same you'll hear in words like cat, right? Hagrid took Harry with the same A sound. Harry, but with a you know, smiling E at the end, you know, like E. Harry at the end, you will say. But Hagrid. You don't smile that much when you say Hagrid. You know, the lips are a bit neutral, rather. Let me check something, guys, just in case. Yeah. So, let's continue.
Purchase a most unusual list of school supplies.
So, Hagrid took Harry to Diagon, right? Diagon Alley. To purchase. The same vowel sound you'll hear in words like church or fur or Dursleys. Purchase, church, purchase. Yes, a most unusual list, a most unusual list of school supplies.
Soon after, Harry caught the Hogwarts Express from platform 9 3/4.
So soon after, right, soon after, Harry caught the Hogwarts Express from platform 9 3/4. So soon after, with that long oo sound at the beginning and this long r sound in after at the beginning of after, Harry caught. This is a long o sound, you know, with your lips rounded. O, caught the Hogwarts Express from platform 9 3/4. Platform. It's not platform, but platform. Okay, platform. Yeah, platform 9 3/4. And okay, let's continue watching and listening to it.
And left the Muggle world far behind.
And left the Muggle world far behind. That's interesting because he says and left the Muggle world, right? He doesn't say left the Muggle world. Why? Again, we've got a consonant cluster. Left the, right? The, t, and the. So left the. That's so uncomfortable, right? So to simplify this, in English, what will usually happen is that the consonant in the middle will get dropped. That's called ellipsis. So the t goes away, you know. So you say left the Muggle world far behind. Far, same vowel sound as in after, right? After, far, calm, charm, starry.
Harry sat beneath a sorting hat.
So Harry sat beneath the, Harry sat beneath the sorting hat. Yeah, Harry sat. Same. Wish I can join in the Wizard World. Harry Potter. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too, Alvin. I wish so too. Yeah, but he's the lucky one, right? Yeah, so Harry sat beneath. Harry and sat, actually, those share the same vowel sound, you know? Harry sat. Harry sat beneath the sorting hat. The sorting hat. So that's the sorting hat, the hat whose job is to sort students into the houses of, you know, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Hoping that he would not be chosen for Slytherin House over Gryffindor.
Okay, so something can be chosen over something else. So he was hoping that he would not be chosen for Slytherin House over Gryffindor. This is interesting because this is like, you know, future in the past. That would express future in the past. And what do I mean by this? Because imagine that Harry was thinking about that right now, at the moment, he would say something like, I hope I will not be chosen for Slytherin House over Gryffindor. So, but as this is something narrating, as this is being narrated by the narrator. The narrator says that Harry was hoping that he would not be chosen for Slytherin House over Gryffindor. So that would is, you know, will expressing future, but would expresses a future in the past. Anyway, let's continue. And there's a strange noise coming from somewhere, doesn't it? It's the alarm. I'm having issues with my alarm. at home. I'm gonna try and turn it off. Just a second, because if you can hear that, oh, getting on my nerves. Just give me 1 second, and I'll take care of it. Okay, be right back. Right, mate? And just a second. I'm gonna try and take care of it. Okay. Took care of it. I'm not sure if that'll solve the problem, but I hope it does. Anyway, let's continue. So yes, Alvin, me too. I wish I could join in the wizarding world too. And just let me take care of something. Okay.
Not Slytherin, eh? Said the hat in his ear. You could be great. It's all here in your head, and Slytherin will help you on your way to greatness.
So Slytherin will help you on your way to greatness. Right, on your path to greatness.
No? Well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. So if you're sure, better be, issue better be Gryffindor. That's a first conditional sentence, right? If you're sure, let's better choose, or let's better sort you into, Gryffindor instead of Slytherin. Okay, this is the very beginning of the story with Albus Dumbledore. Coming to talk to us.
Welcome to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I am Albus Dumbledore, your headmaster. Now, Hogwarts is full of secrets, Harry, so search behind every door. But keep in mind, not all secrets are rewarding. Oh, which reminds me, the third floor corridor is out of bounds too.
So the third floor corridor, you'll hear that R sound being pronounced by Albus Dumbledore, which is not usually pronounced, that final R, as in words like floor and corridor. But the thing is that he doesn't speak with Southern Standard British English accent, also called modern RP, nor with an RP accent, with a received pronunciation accent. He speaks with a soft Irish accent, so he does pronounce the R.
Everyone who does not wish to suffer the most painful death.
The most painful death. Yes, if you can hear that, that's my dog, Morrow, barking, because he's, he can hear other dogs barking outside. What is that? Okay. These are...
Nitwit, blubber, oddment, tweak. 4 wonderful words, don't you think?
4 wonderful words, don't you think? 4, the r at the end, right? He does pronounce it. I was about to tell you that these object on the floor, that's an hourglass. But I'm not sure what, I mean, if we are supposed to do something with them. Do you know? I have no idea. Anyway, let's continue. Great. Foyer. Locked. So that's like a room where people wait for others. It's like some kind of waiting room. If my memory doesn't fail me. Gryffindor Tower. Press square, the square button to use the door. Okay, something I don't want to forget is that we've got some cheats to activate, you know? Which is something that modern games don't have, do they? No, not anymore, as far as I'm aware of. Oh, we've got the Weasley twins, if I'm not mistaken. We could do this here. Save a state. Okay, let's have a chat, shall we?
By the look of that scar, you must be Harry Potter.
So, by the look of that scar, you must be Harry Potter. Right? They don't pronounce the R at the end of scar. You must be Harry Potter. And they don't pronounce the R at the end of Potter. Right? That short O sound in Potter at the beginning of Potter. By the look of that scar, the scar he's got on his forehead, Harry's got on his forehead, by the look of that scar, you must be Harry Potter. Remember, Harry with that sound you'll hear in words like cat. Harry Potter. Potter ends with a schwa, right? This small sound, you know, neutral and, you know, a sound where quite a neutral sound. So you say Potter, Potter.
I'm Fred Weasley, and this is my brother, George.
I'm Fred Weasley, right? Weasley with that long E sound in British English. I'm Fred Weasley, and this is my brother George. George with that long O sound.
Hello there, Harry. We have a proposal for you.
Hello there, Harry. We have a proposal for you. A proposal with that O diphthong, with that O sound. You'll hear in words like goat, for example. Go, goat.
In Hogwarts, there are special portraits.
In Hogwarts, there are special portraits. Portraits with that long O sound at the beginning. Portraits without pronouncing the R, right? You say portraits, not portraits, like in American English. Portraits with that A sound you'll hear in words like pay or say or they or even day, right?
And behind these special portraits are prizes.
And behind these special portraits are prizes. Prizes with that I sound at the beginning. Prizes. Yeah, don't say prize, but prizes. Is at the end. The plural is pronounced in this way. Prizes.
But of course, not just anyone can open up the portraits.
But of course, not just anyone can open up the portraits, but of course, not just anyone can open up the portraits, right? So, but of course, with that long O sound, but of course, not just anyone can open up the portraits. You can repeat after me. Not just anyone can open up the portraits.
You need to know the password.
You need to know the password. That long R sound in password. And you've got two interesting sounds. The long R at the beginning of password, the same you'll hear in words like star, car, and even cast. And at the end of password, you've got that sound you'll hear in words like church, Dursleys, right?
If you bring us earwax every flavour beans,
If you bring us earwax every flavour beans, that's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? If something is a mouthful, that means it's difficult to pronounce. You know, it usually refers to words or expressions. So if you bring us earwax every flavour beans, those are beans, right? Oh, that's the name of those things. Every flavour beans. Oh, yeah. Now I get it. These beans can have any flavour in the world. You know, like at the beginning of Harry Potter and this film actually. You know, when Harry is on the train with Ron Weasley, right? And they're trying out some candies or something, and they can have any flavor in the world. So anyway, if you bring us earwax every flavor beans,
the password.
okay, we'll tell you the password. We'll tell you the password. So that's another first conditional sentence. If you do something, something else will happen, right? An if clause at the beginning, and then you've got the main clause with will. We'll tell you, or we'll tell you the password, right? We will tell you the password. Something will happen. In this case, it's we'll tell you the password. It's a promise, right? Using will to promise something. We'll tell you the password. So it's like a conditional promise, right? We promise this as long as you do this.
We'll be in the Gryffindor common room, which is through the portrait of the fat lady.
So we'll be in the Gryffindor common room, which is through the portrait of the fat lady. Right, the fat lady. Fat lady. That's with a glottal stop there. They don't say fat lady, but fat lady.
See you around, Harry.
See you around, Harry. Right, let's continue. So let's see how far we can get in the game. Charms corridor. Charms with that long R sound. You'll hear in words like enchanted, cast. Charms corridor. That's an interesting word because it begins with, oh, that's Ron Weasley, isn't it? This is like one of the best moments in the game, you know?
Hey, Harry. Remember me? Ron Weasley.
Hey, Harry, remember me? Ron Weasley. Let me give that a try. Another try. Hey, Harry, remember me? Ron Weasley. Weasley with that long E sound in British English.
That slimy Slytherin Draco Malfoy ran through this door with an owl under his arm.
That slimy Slytherin, Draco Malfoy. That slimy Slytherin, Draco Malfoy, ran through this door with an owl under his arm. It's like I need to kind of warm up my mouth, because this is like, doing exercise without warming up first. Yeah, so you say that slimy Slytherin, Draco Malfoy, ran through this door with an owl under his arm. With an owl under his arm. That's interesting because he says under his arm. So he drops the h at the beginning of his, and because of that, the r gets linked to the next sound, which is a vowel sound, right? So you get under his arm. And remember that in this accent, a final r in spelling is only pronounced if right after it comes a vowel sound, like in this case, an I, under his arm. Okay?
I think it was your owl Hedwig. Let's go after him.
I think it was your owl Hedwig. I think it was your owl Hedwig. Again. I think it was your owl Hedwig. I think it was your, did you hear that? It was your, the thing is that there's, the word, the final z in was is right before the ya in yo. So you get zyo. When these two are together, these two sounds, you get z, was you. I think it was your owl, Hedwig. Let's go after him. Again, dropping the h at the beginning of him, because that's usually the case when this is not accented at the end of a sentence, unlike, for example, at the beginning when we read that Harry Potter got an invitation, or that he got a letter inviting him to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. In that case, the narrator pronounces the h at the beginning, because that word, the word him, is being stressed, right? There's emphasis there. There's a contrast drawn between Harry and all other children in the UK, basically. But in this case, there's no contrast, right? Let's go after him. Him is not accented. So Ron drops the h at the beginning, and therefore the final r in after is pronounced. So you say after him, and the r gets linked to the I in him. Actually in im, because the h is not pronounced. Yeah, guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I usually create content teaching you British and American English, especially British English, while playing games like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for PS1, right? Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil, you name it. Today we are playing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for PS1. Let's continue.
Come on, Harry. Let's find Hedwig.
And we focus mainly on pronunciation and vocabulary. So come on, Harry. Let's go find Hedwig.
Well, 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 if it isn't the famous Harry Potter.
Well, 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 if it isn't the famous Harry Potter. Yeah, that does sound British, doesn't it? Well, 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 if it isn't the famous Harry Potter. If it isn't the... He drops the t, you know, in between isn't and the, because there's a consonant cluster there. That is to say, there are 3 consonants together, n, t, and the. So the one in the middle, t, gets dropped. This is called ellipsis, technically. So if it isn't the famous Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
I'm Draco Malfoy, and you do well to show me respect.
I'm Draco Malfoy, and you do well to show me respect. And you do well to show me respect. You'd, right? So you would do well to show me respect. Right? So that's the would gets contracted and we get you'd do well to show me respect.
Looking for that owl of yours?
Looking for that owl of yours. Looking for that owl of yours. That owl of yours. He doesn't pronounce the t at the end of that. Looking for that owl of yours. And there's a special emphasis at the beginning of the word owl, right? This is called glottal reinforcement because it's pronounced, you know, there's a sound here called glottal stop being pronounced at the beginning of owl, which is usually described as a kind of catch in the throat, you know, owl of yours. How? Let's keep watching.
How careless of you to leave it lying about.
Oh, how careless of you to leave it lying about. How careless of you to leave it lying about. Yeah, so how careless of you to leave it lying about. So careless, right? How careless of you to leave it with a long E sound, as in, for example, Weasley. How careless of you to leave it lying about. Lying about, lying around, usually in American English, but in British English, lying about. You know, without pronouncing the t at the end, you can, he produces a glottal stop there. Lying about, which is very common in this accent. And guys, so this has been part 4 of my gameplay of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for PS1, right? I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you later for part 5, okay? Take care, see you later, bye-bye, guys. Cheers.